the communication manager at Bremerton Housing Authority, as well as the chair of the Kitsap Housing and Homelessness Coalition. Bridget Glasspool is our current vice chair, and we get support from a very giving leadership team. We call them the executive team, and that's Leif Wagner from Bremerton Housing Authority, Carl Borg from Kitsap County, Eric Harold from the Salvation Army, Katie Knudsen from the HEN program, and Catholic Community Services, Madison Tuttle from Kitsap Homes of Compassion, and Allie Moyer, Housing Solution Center. And I believe some new members are joining from Housing Solution Center as well. Again, we provide a lot of resources through help from KCR Now with our resource guide. If you have any updates to that resource guide, always email us at our email address, which is admin@kitsapHHC.org. Also, we send newsletters at least twice a month, and you could always provide your updates in those newsletters as well. If you're not on our mailing list, our link is on our website. Also, here's a short link. I can paste that in the chat if you're not on our email list. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing. Any questions before we get started? All right, so I think Jennifer and Deanna are up from Housing Kitsap.
So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen or share my presentation. Let's do that. Share. Sorry. It's always more nerve-wracking when you're doing it live.
Oh, I see your slides.
Okay. Oh, do you see my slides?
I see this, the back end, the PowerPoint, yes. And now if you just switch display settings at the top.
Oh my God, this is so nerve-wracking. I feel like, oh.
No, you're good, you're good. So display settings, you'll switch your screen. So right now we see your notes area and that screen. So if you hit display settings at the top,
Can I start here?
We don't see that yet. So we just see PowerPoint right now.
Do you see my Housing Kitsap?
So if you go to, so right here, you see display settings right at the top.
Yep. Oh, sorry. I said that out.
So they're right there. So right there at the top of the menu, it says display settings. Click that drop down.
Oh, right here, it's hidden.
Now swap.
Are you seeing what?
Yeah, it looks good now. You're good.
Perfect. I am so sorry.
We didn't see anything revealing. We just saw the PowerPoint. You're
all good. This is my life. So I'm Jennifer DeVito. I am the Regional Director of Property Management with Housing Kitsap. There is another regional. Her name is Jules Nada. She wasn't able to be here today, so I am doing this presentation on behalf of the Property Management Department of Housing Kitsap. I'm a regional who is responsible for the South End portfolio. So most of my properties are in Port Orchard, and then I have one property in Bremerton. But we do have properties throughout Kitsap County. So basically, who is Housing Kitsap? So this is our mission statement. We are in the middle of reviewing and updating it, but right now it's the mission of Housing Kitsap to provide quality affordable housing and home ownership opportunities to families and individuals with our local communities. Together with our Board of Commissioners, employees, residents, and community members, we provide the foundation to create a safe place to call home. It's a mouthful, and that's why we're having it updated, because we're hoping to make it really about our mission, which is our communities. I wanted to go over Housing Kitsap community location. Housing Kitsap. I wanted to define housing because a lot of times there's a lot of confusion when it comes to housing and what type of housing we provide, because we are Housing Kitsap is Kitsap County Consolidated Housing Authority. And so we have lots of different types. So we do have low-income housing tax credit communities. We have low-income housing tax credit communities specifically for senior households. We do have USDA RD rural development, so Section 515 properties who it provides rental assistance to properties or to residents. excuse me. Um, we have housing choice voucher program. We currently have brought it back from management from Bremerton Housing Authority. So if you come across any applicants, there is a bit of, there's turnover and questions within that process. So please have them reach out to us. We're happy to help. Some of our properties do have project-based Section 8. And then we do also have project-based vouchers. So it's quite complicated when it comes to what type of property people are interested in. The property managers within the communities are the best contact of what their property has and what somebody may qualify for. We always encourage the applicant, interested community members to reach out specifically to those property managers. Um, Our Housing Choice Voucher Program currently is serving over 400 households within Kitsap County. Part of that is HK Homes, which is our former public housing development. We recently went through a streamlined voluntary conversion, converting all of those public housing units basically to market rate units that have a project-based voucher attached to them. So we have rental housing. Our housing is available. I wanted to break it out into senior housing and family housing because different people tend to work with one population or the other. So we have senior housing available in Bainbridge Island, Port Orchard, Paulsbo, and Silverdale. And then this is information specifically about each of those properties. I planned on having this PowerPoint available to send out to this group if you all are interested in seeing what we have and what is available and who to contact. We have properties, these are all waitlist properties, so you have to go on a wait list in order to be housed. These are all of our low-income housing tax credit, our LIHTC properties, which are income restricted, but not necessarily subsidized. All of these properties do have project-based vouchers attached to some of the units, but not all of the units. We also have, sorry, my slide is not accurate. These are USDA RD senior properties. One's located on Bainbridge Island, one's located in Paulsbo. So Finch does have rental assistance available for all 29 units. Fjord Manor does have 22 of the 38 available rental assisted units. Within our family housing, that is basically anyone who doesn't meet those senior requirements of either being over the age of 55, 62 or older or disabled. Bainbridge Island, Bremerton, Kingston, Port Orchard, Paulsbo, and Silverdale. These are our tax credit, income restricted, and market rate properties. So these are all 60% properties, meaning that 40% of them are market rates. So there is not a income restriction on the market rate unit. So people can make as much as they would like. And they also don't have to do those annual recertifications every year to stay qualified.
And Jennifer,
Yes, ma'am.
it seems that somebody's annotating on the screen. I think it's okay, but it doesn't seem like it has a purpose. So you can turn that off if you want, if you go to the three dots where it says like sharing your screen, or it will say something about like stop annotations. But I don't know if I can control from here, but if everybody can refrain from annotating on the screen, that would be helpful for the presentation. Thank you, everyone. Sorry about that, Jennifer.
No worries. So these are these properties. There's one located in Paulsbo, one located in Kingston, one in Bremerton, and one in Port Orchard. So these are two properties located in Port Orchard. They are project-based rental assisted. So the residents pay 30% of their adjusted income towards the rent of their unit, and the rest is paid under contract with HUD. Both of these properties do have a wait list, and we will be opening the 3-bedroom wait list for Viewmont East apartments, those are income restricted, and I have available units that need to be filled. So please keep an eye on our website and our Facebook page for the announcement of that wait list opening. We have units there, and the people on our wait list are not responding. So we're going to have immediate occupancy availability at that property, which is rare because it's income restricted. These are subsidized USDA rural development properties located in Paulsbo, Bainbridge Island, and Paulsbo. They are also all waitlist. They have income restriction and subsidized rent. It just depends on which property, how many units are subsidized. And then HK Homes is our former public housing. So they're 100% market rate. They're 100% market rate units, and they have a project-based voucher layer. We can also accept housing choice vouchers for any of these units. We do have 1, 2, 3, and 4 bedroom sizes, which is the biggest variety within our portfolio. Does anybody have any questions that I can answer? Sorry, I hope I'm not going through too quickly. Okay, I am not.
I think Janae has a question.
Perfect. Hi, Janae.
Hi, can you explain why the HK property went to market rate? I don't think I fully understand the difference between what it was and why it's currently at market rate.
No worries. So our public housing program is 136 units. We did a streamlined voluntary conversion through HUD. And what that means is that we exited the public housing program, and there's an 80, all of the units remain income restricted at 80% of the AMI. And then they have a layer now of a voucher on top of it. So like a housing choice voucher or a project-based voucher is attached to each of those units. So it's kind of like we project-based the whole property. However, current residents, they were able to select a tenant-based voucher. So there's technically tenant-based vouchers on the properties as well.
No, that helps. Thank you.
No.
I have one more question. Are you guys open to further properties, especially for single units?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that question?
Is there any plan to open further properties, especially for like single room units?
So we are always looking to expand the agency, and I know that our executive director, Heather, is looking for opportunities. I don't have anything to share at this moment about any new properties, but we are always looking. Dean Nail is the best contact at Housing Kitsap. If you have any possibility of a project that he may be interested in, he's the best contact. But I can pass you on his information if you'd like. I did see a question in the comments from Annika. It says, do family housing LIHTC units require social security numbers for each household member, or what are the immigration status requirements? So Annika, I'll send you the specific information because I don't want to misquote you in this environment. I'd rather send you the requirements through a tenant selection plan, and it'll go over what's needed in order for someone to apply. If there's no more questions, we'll move on to what our actual application, our waitlist and application process looks like. Okay. So we use Rent Cafe, which is an online portal to accept applications. Rent Cafe can be accessed through our website, which is housingkitsap.org. And going to the future residents page, there is a link to Rent Cafe. Applicants have to set up a application, or I'm sorry, a user ID through that. They have to register. We do still accept paper applications here in our main office and also on site if somebody is interested. All of our wait lists are managed separately. So you have to, your participants or clients or residents have to apply separately for each of our properties. The property managers, again, are the best contact for any information regarding the waitlist process. We notify the community of opening of our waitlist via our website, our Facebook page, and we also post in the Kitsap Sun. We will be opening the waitlist for some of our properties. A lot of our properties have their waitlist continues to be open. Not all of them, but all of the senior properties are always open. This is information regarding people on the wait list. So we don't provide like a time frame. Oh, sorry, Katie.
I was just going to add a note of clarification. Bremerton Housing
Perfect.
Authority also uses Rent Cafe, and
Oh,
it might be good just to. It sounds the same. It has the same name. It's the same platform, but you have to apply at different places. They run
yes, we do.
differently and they look different. And maybe we'll work together on that to see how we can, because some of our voucher participants, if they're
Mhm.
living in your properties, they're
Mhm.
doing 2 Rent Cafe processes maybe, or
Oh,
something like that, right? And
yeah,
so
that would be great. I'd love to.
and I just wanted to clarify for everyone here that Rent Cafe is a Yardi platform that
Mhm.
is just a technology, and that both Bremerton Housing Authority and Housing Kitsap use it, but in
Yeah,
different ways.
we do. So we do give this kind of overview regarding how we do our wait list. We don't give timeframes for like, when am I going to get moved in? Everything changes with every new unit, every vacant unit that we have. It changes the wait list. Sometimes we are able to house people quickly, and sometimes it does take a while. People need to maintain their username and their password in order to access Rent Cafe. We can reset information. They just need to reach out to myself or to Jules Nada, who is the other regional director. We can always help information getting updated. This does go over eligibility requirements. So to be eligible for residency, there is income limits at each of our properties that people have to meet. There's at our market rate, you have to make 2.5 times the amount of the monthly rent to qualify, but there's also income ceilings. Like you can't make too much. It's different for every property or every program, and that information is specific. We have tenant selection plans for all of our properties. With it within those contains the income limit for that property. Again, happy to answer any questions regarding income limits, but sending tenant selection plans are always available if somebody wants to review. It is going to be updated this April, but vastly remains the same. These are communities that have an open wait list. They don't close due to their program types. These are all senior properties, with the exception of Fjord Vista 2, Rhododendron, and Windsong. Those are family properties where anyone can apply who's interested in living there. And then I wanted to touch on our available units because we have them. We have multiple units at some properties. These are, I tried to, so income restricted, LIHTC, those rents are typically lower than our market rate units, but we do have available units. We're happy to work with people to get them qualified. We are, we have units, which is wild. And I wanted to take this opportunity to share these with those of you who work with people who need housing. And I would love feedback regarding what is needed, like, because we were looking at our rents and are we too high or are we just right? I know because we want to serve the community around us. So I'd be interested in hearing feedback regarding that. Um, Again, I arranged it in a different way, hope because sometimes people's brains work differently. Um, Thank you to all of you for listening to me and having me stumble through this presentation. It's always nerve-wracking when you're in front of other people. Alone, you're fine and it's perfect, but in front of other people,
I thought it
it's
was great,
nerve-wracking.
Jennifer. Jennifer, you did
Well,
good.
thank
And
you.
also,
Obviously, I'm very real about like life. I'm like, this is me and my craziness.
we
I
just
do have a couple
excited. Yeah, and
questions.
excited to have you here.
I love my job. I love what I do. I love working for Housing Kitsap. I feel fortunate. So hopefully that's what people see. So I do see some, is there a realistic way for someone that is completely unhoused, i.e. living on the street, to apply? So we do have paper applications available at our properties that somebody who is unhoused could apply for. We do need to have a way to contact them. So we need a mailing address for all of our properties communicate through mail and through email. So that would be 2 requirements from Michael Akey. Sorry if I'm saying your last name wrong. So that is a way that someone could apply for our properties. I'm happy to send information, the contact list for all of the properties out. I will share it. I can share it with the team. And so Annika has a question. Do you plan on changing your system so that a person can do one application and select multiple properties to send it to? So we are restricted by how Rent Cafe allows us to accept applications. So unless Rent Cafe changes that you can apply for separate, multiple properties at the same time, we are going to continue using Rent Cafe. So I don't know if we're going to be able to select multiple properties, and people will just have to continue to apply for property by property. And then Tiffany would like a copy of the slides. I'd be happy to send it out and to Satara. Hopefully I said that name wrong. I'm happy to share the slides and as much information as I have. I have tons. I'm happy to talk to anyone about Housing Kitsap and what we offer. We are trying to make sure people know what housing we have available. It's like we're the best kept not secret in Kitsap. We have lots of housing. We love what we do. I have a great team that I work with, and all of us are, in the mission of housing people. So, please reach out. I'm happy to.
And if you want to share the slides, you can send them to me and I will share them out in the newsletter as well. And then Tiffany has another question and Carisha has.
Okay, so I have a question from Carisha.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. For those dealing with housing instability or homelessness, they may not have a physical address to provide. Is there a workaround for this barrier? We do not have a workaround for people without an option. If they use general delivery, we will enter it and accept that as an address for them. There is the possibility though that they wouldn't be contacted if we send out a mail, because we are currently mailing waitlist application update letters to people. We are not solely within Rent Cafe. We're kind of a weird hybrid between the digital world and the paper world. So you can use general delivery. There is a risk of them not receiving that communication from us. And then Amy Leach replied that unhoused clients can register with the North Kitsap Fish Line for mail service. That's amazing. I think that's great. I didn't know that. Tiffany stated, is there an up-to-date place online where you keep a list of current housing available? No, but that is a fantastic idea. I could keep it updated on our website. I will add that to my list of what I should do, because that's an awesome idea. Thank you, Tiffany. I love these kind of
This is
ideas.
a great group, Jennifer, very engaged. It looks like Martita is asking, it would be nice in making a little change in the system. And then she's asking how we can advocate for this issue. Our immigrant families have so many barriers, and a piggyback with Annika, making it easier it would eliminate barriers.
Right. So not all programs require eligible immigration status. However, I do not have the details in front of me, and if you guys want to contact me, I can give you that information, which programs do not require eligible immigration status. Like Heritage in Viewmont, I know for a fact, like only its prorated assistance is available. So there is availability of that. So not all of them require that for the families. And then,
Martita has her hand raised.
yeah, hi.
Thank you. Thank you. And it is, your presentation was amazing. Okay. Great.
Thank
And thank you so much. Again, just giving a little more information. It is regarding, yes, immigration status, but also having a hub with one single application. That way everybody can, whatever site it can go, it can one
Mhm.
application, make it easier and eliminate barriers. Is what I was talking about. It's just, I don't know, having it in one
Right.
place
So
for all.
we don't have a centralized waitlist process, and that's exactly what we have discussed it, but because we are throughout the county, somebody who's living in Port Orchard won't necessarily want to move to Poulsbo or to Kingston, and so we keep our applications site-based. Yeah, Rent Cafe does make the process easier. You can use that. I mean, it does take a little bit of tech savviness to navigate the system, but it does make it a bit easier. I think anytime people can have assistance, I know there's not an easy answer. And I wish there was. I wish I could just house everyone and eliminate the issue, but I think that's all of our goals.
So will Housing Kitsap be open to people coming in so that they can assist them with Rent Cafe, since it's requiring some kind of tech savvy that our people do not have?
So most of my managers will help, but it has to do with their workload, because they're working. So I think making appointments, I know, I'm not aware of any of them declining assistance. Like we'll walk them through. We don't enter information, because using Rent Cafe, you have to certify that the information you're inputting is true and correct. And so we will not enter information for people, because we are not going to then state that we are certifying that the information being entered is accurate, but we are happy to walk people through the process. And there's, yeah, we do, when we opened previously, we referred people to the library, and those people who work at the library were very helpful with people applying. That was an availability for that. And there is the paper process. We still accept paper applications. So if applying through Rent Cafe isn't a possibility for your client, then having them complete a paper application is available. And those can be asked by the property manager to be mailed to a household member, or to a family or a client.
It sounds like you might get some future contacts, Jennifer. I think really everyone's really interested and really happy to hear from Housing Kitsap. I know that Deanna has a presentation as well, but looks like DJ Michaels is interested in the information from PCHS, and Housing Resources Bainbridge is interested. So we will make sure to get these slides out and Jennifer's contact information. But if you want to drop that in the chat as well, Jennifer, feel free. And Martita, did you have one more question? Your hand's still up. Thank you. And thank you again, Jennifer.
Oh, you're welcome. This was great. Thank you for being so welcoming. I appreciate it.
And we can also share, if you do have like you said, like you have all these available units,
Mhm.
We can always use our newsletter and share that out in an email as well. We have a mailing list of over 500. It's open to everyone who's a member here. So anybody pretty much who joins our meetings, and
Lovely.
you're welcome to share any news to other service providers through our mailing list.
Oh, lovely. I did not know that.
Mhm.
This is a great group. I did want to answer, what are the best hours for someone to walk in with help applying for wait lists? And will you have Spanish interpretation available for walk-in such over the phone? So the first question, and this is from Annika. So the first question, so our walk-in hours at our main office in Silverdale is from 1:30 to 4, I think. 4:30, thank you. So Joanna is amazing at the front desk. If I'm available, I'm happy to help. There's other team members here who will be happy to help. For Spanish interpretation, we would have to schedule somebody like through the language link to be able to provide interpretation services, because I'm not aware of anybody who is, I mean, I am aware of people who are fluent speakers, however, not in this office. So I think if anybody is interested, if they want to reach out to me, I can schedule an appointment with the language link with an interpreter to go through the application process. So hopefully that was and then walk-in hours are posted on our website. And yes, I have contact information for the property managers. They have email and phone numbers, and I will send all that contact information to the group. Thank you. So
Thank you, Jennifer.
hopefully,
And
Katie, you can help me set up Deanna's. Let's see if I can get this
yes, for sure.
point. This I had it down and then I didn't. Okay. Oh, wrong one. Okay, there you go. Do you want me to do it? Or do you want to set it up?
Oh, you can set it up.
Oh. Share. Okay, then we're gonna do something over here.
Okay, I see the slideshow. So I think if you present
Perfect.
again.
Are we good? Okay.
Okay, I still see the back end of PowerPoint. So I still see like, yeah, the working screen and not just the presentation. This one's a different problem than last time. There we go.
Are we good?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Hi, I'm Deanna Champagne with Housing Kitsap, marketing specialist and admin assistance to the self-help home ownership program.
Thank you for being here, Deanna.
Oh, thank you for inviting us. The Mutual Self-Help Program provides a path to home ownership and the American dream, and it's a primary way of household to build wealth, stability, and community and pass down the future generations. So yeah, now I gotta learn how to click here. There we go. Okay. So the Mutual Self-Help Housing Program is about home ownership opportunities for individuals and families with low and very low incomes. So there's income limits, and these are income limits 1 through 7. Now, it doesn't say a minimum, but there is a minimum. Our current mortgages are $350,000. For someone to qualify, they would need at least a minimum of $40,000 to $42,000, and that would probably have to include some down payment assistance, just depending. And then, so you have to have good credit, stable income, and an ability and a willingness to pay for the future debt payments. Individuals and families build their homes together. The program provides access to financing, house plans, technical support, and tools and construction supervision. We work collectively as a group to complete the labor required to build each home and build sweat equity. And it's approximately 30 to 35 hours per week on top of their 40-hour job. It builds sweat equity. For example, the price of the home is $400. The cost to build with the land is $360. That leaves around $40,000 in equity. And that's known as your sweat equity, doing the work on your house. So you have to attain a USDA Section 502 direct loan. Housing Kitsap will package the loan for you and submit to USDA for eligibility. Your loan package must meet all USDA requirements in connection to their rules and regulations. If your loan is approved, you may qualify for a payment assistance known as subsidy that may reduce your monthly mortgage payments as long as your income meets the criteria. The amount of the subsidy is determined by the adjusted gross household income at the time of the loan conversion, so when you move in. And subsidy it can lower your monthly principal and interest payment. So the interest rate could be 4%, and you could potentially qualify for a 1% interest. And the difference of the 3% is that the government will cover each month to help lower your payment. So that's known as the subsidy. There are several factors considered when determining the applicant's eligibility for the USDA 502 direct. Below are some of the criteria. Adjusted gross income must be at or below the area low income limit established by USDA. Must demonstrate a willingness and ability to repay the debt, income, work history, and credit, and agree to occupy the property as your primary residence. So what is the interest rate in loan terms? The current fixed interest rate, it was 4.5. As of today, it's 4.75. Interest rates may be modified to as low as 1% based on the borrower's income at the time of move-in, known as subsidy, as mentioned in the prior slide. The loan terms can be a 33-year or a 38 if the applicant is eligible. No down payment is required unless the borrower needs gap financing to qualify for the loan amount. And that would be someone that couldn't qualify for the $350,000, they qualified for a $300,000 loan. We could get down payment assistance to help with that. If the borrower has assets higher than $15,000, the funds above this amount will be required for down payment. If the borrower is 62 years or older, they can keep up to $20,000 in assets, and the amount over $20,000 will be used as a down payment. This does not include qualified retirement accounts. And how you can apply: you complete your application, submit a credit report fee, submit requested documentations to evaluate your work history and your earned income credit. So the application evaluation, USDA will make your final decision on loan eligibility. So we need your income to qualify for the loan cannot be over the area income limits. Your employment, a 2-year work history will be evaluated at the time of loan packaging. Stable and reliable income will be a huge consideration. Credit will be evaluated in accordance to the USDA rules and regulations. USDA likes to see a credit score of 640 and above with no delinquency. Will be streamlined. Credit under 640 will be subject to a credit work history evaluation. They like to see a rental history of 2 years preferred but not required. Having no rental history will be considered a payment shock and add to a risk layer to the loan eligibility, which could mean you cannot have any other waivers, including credit, energy waiver. Once you submit your completed application, we will review your income, credit, and work history. This will determine whether you will be placed on the active or inactive wait list. Your application will be entered into the database and put in order of application date. Your application will be reevaluated once your name comes up on the wait list, and additional or updated information will be required. It is your responsibility to keep Housing Kitsap updated with any changes to your income, work history, credit, household size, as long as you remain on the wait list. So is that you done? There we go. So forming a group, the applicants will be selected off of the wait list in order of their application date. 40% of all our applicants must be very low income established by the USDA and will take priority in the selection process. Updated information will be requested for your income, credit, and work history. Evaluation of the current information will be conducted to see if you meet the USDA loan requirements. Housing Kitsap will assist you in filling out loan packages, review, and submit to USDA. And only USDA can approve the loans. There would be 4 mandatory training sessions will occur once the building group is formed prior to construction. Trainings will cover building process, closing documents, insurance, and the group labor agreement. In addition, there will be on-site trainings thereafter to go over building safety measures and how to build your home. Construction will begin on-site with your building group and supervisor. The building process can take up to 12 to 14 months. Weekly hours will range from 30 to 35 hours. Saturday mornings meetings are mandatory throughout the building process. Then it's time to move in. After completion of all homes, a final inspection and a certificate of occupants will be issued by the city or county, and all homes must pass an inspection before any group member can move in. Congratulations on your new home. We have a key ceremony, and we'll be inviting family and friends, volunteers, local officials, partners, construction vendors. The celebration is to share your accomplishments to building your new home and your experience on your path to home ownership. So currently in Port Orchard, we have 39 units. Wheelwright just completed their homes of 12 and moved in. We currently have future Lakeland, Allen, have 9 coming up and another 39 in Port Orchard. And if you'd like to apply, there's the email wait list, or my phone number, our website. We receive applications through the mail, email, fax, drop off. And so there we go. Are there any questions?
I think we had one in the chat, but I also had a question. You can stop sharing your screen because it's just black right now. There we go. I might have missed it, but it's just because I'm unfamiliar with this program. So my friend, I hadn't learned about it until my friend shared her experience. She's absolutely like, I'm like, why do not more people not know about this? And maybe they do, and I just didn't know. I mean, at the Bremerton Housing Authority, we don't have a home ownership program right now. So just hearing more about Housing Kitsap and how we can support all the way through the housing continuum is always really good information for us to also share. So from my understanding, you can correct me, Deanna, it's a program where you can find a building group, apply to see if you're qualified, and then you all build homes together. Is that right?
Yes, you build them all together, all 10.
So do you help each other build them then?
Yep. You help each other build each other's homes, and the supervisor does like a domino effect. He'll start one, get it started, and then he'll get it down to and the next one started. So it's all like dominoes going, and then go back to the next one to get it going. So yeah, no one moves in until they're all completely finished.
So it's an opportunity to really have some stake in the game, right? And
Oh,
really
yeah.
build your own home, and really at the end of it, when I saw units, do you mean actual like homes, right? Not just like
Yeah, they're
units?
homes. They are
Yes.
2, 3, 4 single family homes with garages currently.
Oh, that's amazing. And also, yeah, it's just can anybody apply at any time then?
Anybody can apply. Our wait list is open right now. So anybody can apply, and then I run credit, check income, see if they're going to be on the active or the impending wait list. So
So yeah, it's so I built my home through the program 2002. So I went through the whole program, and then I was asked to come on to Housing Kitsap after I did that. So it's a great opportunity, and you get to know your neighbors. Some become really good friends, some don't, you know. So
But it sounds like just, yeah, really get to know your community. Also, build skills that you might have not known you had building a home. And like,
exactly.
oh my gosh, it's just the the positive impacts seem endless on that opportunity. And so just to be able to apply sounds like a great, unique program in Kitsap. It looks like we have a few questions.
I did
Um,
see the one that HOA, and yes, there are HOAs sometimes, but not, yeah, but some there may not be. So, but majority there is.
it looks like, does the subsidy apply for other programs like CLT homes?
We do not do land trust homes right now.
Curious with the longer USDA processing times and limited funding, when do you start the loan application process?
So once you were picked and vetted for the group, I collect the initial information. And then if we believe that you're a good candidate, then it goes on to the program manager, and then she will determine how your file is with more documentations. So she gathers taxes and bank statements and stuff like that.
Um,
And
then another question, are there any options for someone with physical disabilities?
yes, we have had in the past people with disabilities. So yes, there is. So
Is that a reasonable accommodation process then, or something similar?
um I can let you talk to Gloria. She's more about
But there is opportunity for that.
yes, there is. But here this is
Hi, everyone. I'm Gloria, and I'm the single family program manager at Housing Kitsap. So if somebody does have a disability and they want to participate in the program, how it's set up is that they can have us look at, they would find a sponsor to sponsor them through the building process. So that sponsor would be required to get the hours done. And
Okay.
so they could have somebody step in on their behalf. That we would, talk to and make sure that that can work out.
That makes sense because you need the
Yeah.
man hours to
Yeah,
build
so yes, they can.
Well, thank you, Gloria. Nice to see you. Let's see. Destiny, you have a question? Do you, it says you don't know how to raise your hand. There you are.
Hi, I do. I was just wondering, so what if you're married and you guys recently just purchased a home and your spouse has asked you to leave? Do you need to have your name removed off that mortgage to be able to do the build program?
yes, you would.
Yes.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Jason asks, are there smaller communities on wells, septics, or city water and sewer?
There's talk about it, but so in the past, so like mine was on a septic, but I had Washington water. So I don't think that's been they've had wells or septic since then. So just depends on the area and the subdivision.
Do you get to choose your areas?
You can choose your area. And so if you're called for Port Orchard and you don't want Port Orchard, then you will pass you up. And then so the next time around, if it's Paulsbo, you possibly could get in. But it just depends. So you can pass.
But it sounds like there's a lot of opportunity to make this your own.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And Jason asks, he says, thanks for answering a sewer question. And then says, how long do people have to stay before they sell?
You can sell as soon as you move in. There's no USDA requirement. It's not something that we encourage because it is something to have and to build your wealth on. So yeah, we don't encourage it, but you can.
Of course. But yeah, amazing program for the community.
Mm-hmm.
And I assume that anybody could contact you if they had any questions about the
Oh, yeah,
self-help program?
certainly. Yep, they can contact me, the phone number, email, the website. So I have 2 emails going on, self-help website and my own.
Yeah, if you can share the contact information again in the chat, and also if you want to share that presentation, and I can get it out on the email newsletter for all the members of the group.
Okay, I'll go into the chat here and
Thank you so much, Deanna. Anybody else with questions?
future builds in Bremerton. We currently do not build in Bremerton. It's not rural enough. Unfortunately, USDA is the one that sets up our guidelines for that. So, so yeah.
Well, this was really great. Thank you to Deanna and Jennifer from Housing Kitsap and Gloria stepping in. And yeah, we would love for you to join future meetings. This is a great group to get information and also share information. So if you need anything from us, we're always here. It's just so nice to have you present today.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Looks like Deanna put her contact information in the chat. And then a few more small, tiny agenda items before we leave today. And the first is just our normal Kitsap County updates. Carl, do you or your team have any updates?
Yeah, the Pacific building is open. We did get our what's called temporary occupancy, which allowed us to move people out of the Quality Inn into the Pacific building while we finish up the final checklist items. We have had a couple of issues. One of the issues is it keeps blowing a breaker, and the electrician is puzzled as to why it's doing that. So we're still working through some of the issues. Kitsap Rescue Mission is now bringing people in this week. They'll be doing interviews 4 to 5 days a week until the building is full. When they bring so when they get everybody in, they're finishing up, setting up right now. It was a move when there's not a lot of storage space at the Pacific building, so they're in the process now of getting everything set up, working through all the issues, and we should be getting what we call final completion within the next 2 to 3 weeks. And once we get that, then that means everything is settled and ready to go. We announced the 5-year plan. We put that out. I have an amazing amount of people that are interested in helping out. According to Commerce, we have to have a group of people that are on that committee. They dictate with who needs to be on that committee. And so we're in the process now of sorting through the emails, sorting through who we want. We'll probably do a general meeting just to kind of talk about what the 5-year plan entails, and then also what the committee will be doing for that. And then our plan is to have that totally completed and ready for a public presentation in December. So we'll be counting through, and if you're on that list, we'll be looking for an email in the next few days that will kind of outline what Commerce wants us to do, what our last plan was, so you get an idea of what we're looking at for that. And then Corey's working really hard after the point in time count. He's getting all the data in. He and Derek did what's called deduplication. So they sit down in a room all day and just kind of look at all the applications and figure out if it's a single application or if there's a duplicate application. So they've gone through that. Corey will have the data available for public release mid-March is what our deadline is for that. So we may have a better grasp, about the beginning of March, but we should have that ready for the next Kitsap Housing Homeless Coalition meeting in March for that. And then I think that's all. I thought of something else, but now it's gone.
Well, any questions first? One is, how full is the Pacific building? And Martita has her hand up.
The Pacific building is not full at all. Kitsap Rescue Mission brought 20 people over, and they're now in the process of, they've got them stabilized. They've got everything around the building set up. since it's a secure environment, they have to work on getting, they did not have kitchen staff at the Quality Inn. So now they have kitchen staff, they're cooking, so they're doing all of that internally. So that's why they'll be bringing people in 4 to 5, the minimum 4 days a week to start with, and multiple appointments during the day. The Housing Solutions Center has transmitted applications over. They're going through those now. Ortita.
Thank you. Gracias, Carl. I just want to say the installations are beautiful. Thank you for giving me that tour. It is amazing. And one thing I just would like to suggest, as always advocating for our community, it will save you a lot of money if you hire bilingual personnel. That would be great. So I'm not sure if you do have already, when you send the release, when you're hiring someone, bilingual will be a plus, That's just focusing on bilingual people. That would be amazing. Again, Spanish speaking, because we are the language that most spoken here in this country. So that would be great. Also, you need anyone who cooks, please let me know and we can send you people there. Hire bilingual people.
Yeah, that would be submit those to Kitsap Rescue Mission. Kitsap County owns the building, and then Kitsap Rescue Mission will be actually doing the day-to-day operations. So we have a contract with them to give them building use with the restrictions on that, and then they have a total separate contract on operating. We're working with them now to when they bring in pets, care with Diane. They will meet with the human and the pet before they get into the shelter. Then Diane will do an assessment of the pet, get that pet ready for the shelter, and hopefully the pet will go in with the human. But if they're not ready, then Diane is the one that will make that call, and then they'll figure out a way to possibly foster the pet until it's ready to go in. There's a lot of things that we're working on right now. It's the only shelter in the county that actually has a vet room, and one of the few in the country that actually have a special room for owners to be able to care for their pets. They can bathe them. There'll be a groomer coming in once a month to help them groom their pets. So it's going to make a world of difference in everybody's lives.
Thank you, Carl. My update kind of, maybe you wanted to say about the point in time count, but also my update about Project Connect is always in partnership with the point in time count. And so I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who could join us for Project Connect in the last week of January. Based on the preliminary numbers, it was a very similar attendance, which is good, but more diversified across the sites. But this next year is going to be the 15th anniversary of Project Connect. So we are really looking to get your feedback. We might send out another survey to everyone to really understand what we like, what we don't like, what we want to see changed for next year. Our planning committee is always like, what's the next one? And so planning committee is always open right now. We are meeting regularly just so we can prepare for the services, because you got to book them early on, because we know the DOL was not there this year. We really want the DOL there. And there's a lot of Project Connect events across the country or across the state to support the point in time counts across the counties. So we want to make sure to book the necessary services to make sure they're available the time we do the fairs. So again, look for some more opportunities for surveys. And if you were a vendor this year, providing resources at any of the sites, you should have received a link. Please take time to fill that survey out. But also, again, we plan to send another survey out soon where we could get some ideas for next year. So,
Katie just remembered one thing. I want to take this opportunity to thank the severe weather shelters for being open.
yes.
They were open 29 days so far this year. Last year, for the entire season, which runs November 1st through March 31st, they were only open 28 days. So we've exceeded that. They were consecutive days. There was literally only one day off in that group where they were open every night. Those volunteers did an amazing job, and they need to be really, really congratulated on what they were able to do and the amount of people that they were able to keep warm during this strange cold snap that we had.
Yeah, thank you so much for mentioning that. It's amazing that we have these extra additional shelters when it's cold out and during the winter. So the way they set those up and man those, and I don't know, it's just an amazing service. So thank you to the county for running the program, but also to the amazing sites and volunteers taking on this big task to provide shelter. Thank you, Carol. Anyway, that was my update on Project Connect really quick. Anybody have questions, concerns, thoughts, ideas? And if not, and we'll wait for you to share that, or you can also share agency updates. So if you have anything you'd like to share with the group, now's your time. So feel free to chat or raise your hand. And I'll just give Martita the mic. Oh wait, she's not
Thank you.
Oh, there you are.
Thank you. I really, also Annika has that, but I really would like to share about Mama Moves Kitsap. I work with a parent-child program, and I know that some mamas out there that right now is unhoused. So I'm probably going to be talking to you guys referring her, but also at the shelter, anyone there. I know I drop off some flyers and give it to Carl, his team. But please, if you need any referrals forms, I'll be happy to send it to you, Katie, and then you can distribute to the attendees. But again, we have the program called Nurse Family Partnership. It is for people who are pregnant with their first baby. We can assign a personal nurse to do home visits, or they can meet wherever they are, and provide all the support for mama during her pregnancy and after the pregnancy. So they will graduate from the program when the baby turns 2 years old. Excuse me. During all this time, she can benefit from education, maternal services, support referrals as well, and diapers, free diapers, baby clothing, car seat, crib, whatever the baby needs. So again, we have this amazing program. It is free, and I'll be happy to support with tons of resources. But also, you have a mama who has more than one baby and is pregnant again, or the baby is little. Also, I can provide other resources such early learning and maternal services support. So please send it to our way. And our postpartum support group, we are in Instagram, Mama Moves Kitsap. Baby massage is coming up, and this is led by a nurse and Martita. So both of us are there at the Kitsap Public Library on the 28th, baby massage. So over here in Bremerton. So please reach out. I'll be putting all the contact information, and I'll be happy to talk to you, mamas. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, Katie, you're muted.
Thank you, Martita. I was just going to say, Madison, who just spoke, she says to just remind everyone to share your agency and name so that we can record that in the notes. Annika?
Hello, this is Annika with Kayak Kitsap Immigrant Assistance Center, and I am wondering if anyone here is going to Advocacy Day, March 14th with the Washington Low Income Housing Alliance. So we are working on getting folks, tenants, especially from the 26th and 23rd legislative districts. So I would really love to connect with anyone who's going so we can kind of make a plan in advance and who's going to talk and all that stuff. We are also meeting with Representative Addison Richards on Teams this coming Wednesday at 8 a.m. to talk about the rent stabilization bill. And if you feel strongly about that and you live in the 26th district, then I'd really love to connect and include you in that meeting. And if anyone here is not signed up for updates from the Washington Low Income Housing Alliance. I really encourage you to sign up. I'll put that link in the chat. There's some really important bills and there's a lot of quick actions. I know like we get a lot of things in our inboxes. The things that they send are usually just like, click this, put your name in. If you know that you align with the priorities of the Washington Low Income Housing Alliance, then I trust their priorities. I know I align with them. I know my organization aligns with them. So I will just respond. I will sign in pro when they recommend that because I already know I align with their priorities. And it's a quick process and it really makes a difference. Some of the things they're working on, one is the rent stabilization bill that maybe I'm preaching to the choir, everybody knows about it, but it limits, it's a really, unfortunately, they had to raise the amount that it limits rent increases each year because it just wasn't passing. Originally it was envisioned at 3% max every year, then 5%, and then now it's 7%, which is better than nothing, but honestly not great. But it includes some other provisions, but they're also trying to pass more funding for right to counsel because the funding is based on like 2021 eviction numbers and evictions have gone up. And so there's really high success rates for people who have representation in eviction proceedings, but we need to have more funding to make sure that is available. Thank you, Kitsap Legal Aid Services, if you're here for being that in our county. And they're investing in also capital funding for more public housing and like repairs to public housing and different things, like recognizing that we can't rely on private developers to meet the housing need. And if we're catering to private developers and investors, like probably it's not in the best interest of tenants at the end of the day. So really awesome policies that they're supporting. I would love to be in Olympia with anyone who wants to go. It's really encouraging to be around other people also in person, but I'll put the link to sign up for their updates and to sign up for that Housing and Homelessness Advocacy Day, March 14th, if anyone wants to join. I put my email in the chat and would really like to connect if you're in the 23rd or 26th and want to be part of the advocacy for that. The other thing I'll mention is we're working with Kitsap Legal Aid Services to provide a tenants' rights training in Paulsbo focused on folks living in mobile home parks. That's going to be March 10th or 11th, date to be confirmed. But if you want information about that to share with folks, I can share it with Katie to share out, and also you're welcome to email me as well. We'll be talking both about tenants' rights in mobile home parks and also about how tenants can write, like we're gonna have tenants writing letters on the spot who want to support rent stabilization that we can then hand to legislators in Olympia. So if you want to write a letter and either submit it online, great, but you can also bring us letters that we can hand to representatives that day as well.
No, that's great. Thank you so much, Annika. Looks like Amy has a response as well about the League of Women Voters in the chat. So it looks like there's a lot of opportunities to link up. That's amazing. Thank you, Annika.
Hi, yeah, this is Amy. Sorry, I was just about to drop, but I had a few minutes. Anika, I just wanted to say that I chair the housing committee at the League of Women Voters, and we're very aware of a lot of the legislation and bills that are going through the state right now. And we have a number of members in the 26th. So I just put my email in the chat. If you want to send me the information on the meeting with Representative Addison, I'll be happy to get that to them. I'm sure they'd be very interested to join you.
Thank you so much. Roland?
Well, good afternoon. I got word. First, I'll again, Roland Harper. My first hat is going to be severe weather shelter. So as Carl said, we went through a long stretch. So if anyone has a good source of gloves, I'm looking to purchase gloves. So we pretty much got cleaned out of supplies over this long stretch. If anybody does have a good source of where to find winter gloves, I'd be like to have that information. Changing hats to my temporary job for the county is in the read aheads for this thing. You heard about if you're not going to Olympia on the 14th, there's going to be an open house at the new Kitsap County Department of Emergency Management facility out by the airport. That's the 14th of March. And then if you happen to be an agency or just interested in emergency preparedness, there's going to be an event at Olympic College on April Fool's Day, looking specifically for groups and organizations in the West Bremerton area to attend that event. And again, that's going to be the evening of April Fool's Day at Olympic College. Thanks.
Thank you, Roland. And I included those updates in our newsletter I sent yesterday. And that's a good reminder that you can refer back to that, as well as it's posted in the archives on our website. And again, Annika, if you want to share anything through the newsletter about contacting you, welcome to do that as well. Great causes and really meets our mission. So thank you so much, Annika. Jason, I'm going to call everybody with their hands up first. And I know I saw some in the chat as well.
Yep, just a couple really quick updates. So one, we do have, so there's the WA Cares Fund. So we do have a local expert in that now for Kitsap County. Russ Royther, the other Jason Doty in this meeting, is actually there for that. So if you need someone to present on what the WA Cares Fund actually is, contact us and reach out to Russ and he can talk to you about that a little bit further. So there's that piece. And then we still have our normal information and assistance phone line for older adults and adults with disabilities. So if anyone ever needs any of that information, just give us a call. So
thank you, Jason. Scott Willard with the, and Jason Doty is with the Aging and Long-Term Care of the county. And I got that right, Jason? And then it looks like we have Scott Willard with the Kitsap Homes of Compassion.
Hi, this is Scott. I don't really have a lot to update folks with right now, but I just wanted to say hi and thank you for hosting.
Oh, well, thank you, Scott. Nice to see you. Let's see, who else? I think I got Katie with the Bremerton, Katie Trammell with the Bremerton School District. Don't know if she was sending an update, but making sure I gave you the opportunity to speak if you want to share anything. Katie? And then Haley from the Central Kitsap School District. Did you want to go unmute and share? Her update was she's looking for community partners to help support our students experiencing homelessness. We have over 400 students in our district experiencing homelessness, and she would love to connect with others. So if you look at the chat, she left her email, haleym@ckschools.org. So a great opportunity to support students. Any other updates? Oh, it looks like Diane has an update.
Good afternoon. Yes, I just wanted to let folks know that Kitsap Animal Rescue and Education is now partnering with the county to provide pet assistance for people who are homeless in terms of we're partnered with the Pacific Building for the pet center, but we're also going to be doing more out in the rest of the community. Not supplies so much as assistance with getting them ready to go into housing for people who are, experiencing housing homelessness or, housing insecurity.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Diane. Anybody else? Well, thank you again. Thank you again to Housing Kitsap and all of our presenters today and everybody for sharing. Again, this is a great opportunity to connect. If you have any ideas for future presentations or your agency would like to present, feel free to email us anytime at admin@kitsaphhc.org. All of our information is on our website as well, but we appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
All right, that concludes the Kitsap Housing and Homeless Coalition meeting. Again, check out the website. And if you're looking for the podcast, you can, or the broadcast of this, you can go to the Conduit, and it is literally under its own podcast, so you don't